Yes. Okay. Hey, everyone.
Are we good?
I think we're good.
Okay,
Mine
good.
says recording. Okay. For anyone who's
Awesome.
watching this, please enjoy the giggles. We just spent several minutes trying to figure out how to record this as a team. So
we are always the entertainment, which is
always. Okay.
we
Okay.
love it. Okay. So
Um,
we're going to talk today about how to grow your influence. And Elizabeth is a great business person, online presence, and we are always learning from each other. So we've asked her to speak on growing your online presence. We're going to stick to Facebook probably in this
yes,
conversation.
primarily stories, I think, for right this second.
Okay, great.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so my name's Elizabeth. I am a mom of 3. I'm a special needs mom. I've been in network marketing for about 6 years now. And I want to share some tidbits, things I've learned along the way about how to particularly grow your algorithm on Facebook. So if you are in business on social media, number one, you need to be present. And what that means is posting on a consistent basis, not necessarily like, oh, hey, come buy what I have, but showing your family, being vulnerable, being present, being transparent, talking about your struggles, talking about your family, talking about education. That's a really big one. People trust those who provide free value. I watched Jill for probably 6 months before I finally reached out to her. And every single time I came across one of her posts, I read the entire thing because it was educational. It provided value to my life, and I didn't really have to engage. She was providing me free value. Finally, one day, a parasites post came up, and I felt the urge to reach out to her. So I did, and here we are over a year later. So Jill was paramount to my son's progress in his healing process. So be present and don't expect anything out of anyone. Okay. Always do it from the kindness of your heart, because people can smell a pitch a mile away. So we're here because we all want to help others. And that's what is going to make you successful. People will generally be attracted to you if you're detached from the outcome. So make sure that when you put something on your social media, you're not doing it with the intention of how many sales am I going to get out of this? I'm doing this because I want to bring education to other people's lives.
Right.
So for me personally, I use my stories as a more of like, here's a place where I can talk about my products. Here's a place where I can talk about my company values. I do share a lot about my life. That's where I will go live. So if I'm going to go live to talk about something, because I think that peer-to-peer expression is really important. Like, it's really cool to put a little picture and type things out, but really hearing someone's voice and their tone really has a much larger impact. So I'm not saying you need to go live on your stories, but if you are, it can really help people to understand a little bit more about you. If you are going to go live, make sure that you are writing out the captions. So if I spend 30 seconds talking about my something I experienced dropping off my son at AVA, I'm going to write out what I'm saying in a little caption, because a lot of people, when they're watching their stories, do not have sound on, myself included. It's very rare that I turn the sound on. Okay. And if it is, that means you're important. But majority of the time I'm watching without the sound on. So always put the captions. I am not sure that Facebook has auto captions, because I always post from my Instagram, but if that's an option, you can always do that as well. So utilize your stories in a way to connect with people, I guess more on a business level. For me, that's what works. When people scan my Facebook wall, I don't want them to think, oh my gosh, there's another post of her selling her stuff. I want people to see who I am. I want them to be part of my personal journey. I want them to know my children. I want them to know, you know, my niche. That's the story I'm projecting. When I go into my stories, people should expect to see products, educational information about products, what it's doing for people, testimonies. This is huge. Okay, I need to talk on this. If you are helping someone in their health journey and they try Clean Slate, okay, and someone sends you a text message and they're like, oh my gosh, I feel amazing, thank you so much, or this has helped my child, or my grandmother, or the Zero In has really helped my husband with dealing with life stresses. Screenshot that, crop it, put that in a story, even if it's a picture of Zero In, and post on there a little picture of your testimony. People trust that. Testimonies are huge, 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 huge. Even if I just went on and was going live and saying, oh my gosh, my friend reached out to me and she's having such a great experience, that's great and all, but when someone sees it in type, that's like, it just kind of solidifies that trust. So testimonies are really great. If I'm ever having specials on my products, that's something I would talk about in my stories as well. Let's talk about how you build your algorithms and how you get connected with people. So when you're watching stories and there's a little thing at the bottom where you can comment, unless it's a poll, nope, even if it's a poll, if someone has a poll in their stories and you click on it, that vote is going to go into their DMs, into their
direct messenger.
Right. Messenger, not DM. Sorry, we're not Instagram. Into their messenger. If you comment on their story, it's going to go directly into their messenger. What that does is that opens the line of communication up to where you're now in a private conversation with someone. So every day, even if I'm not actively working, I'm going to spend time with my people commenting on their stories, because all that's doing is opening up that messenger. Once I'm in a private,
so that's better than just a like or a heart or a laugh. You
Absolutely.
want to actually say something. So when you say, because if you just heart it or like it, yes, it will tally up for the person. But if you make a comment, if you say anything, it goes directly into their messenger.
Right.
That's building rapport. I like that.
Yes, building rapport and letting people know that you're not just there to like capitalize on social media, which you are essentially, if you're being real about it. But like, I have hundreds of people on my Facebook that I'm not trying to make money off of. These people are important to me. I want to get to know them. And if that so happens to fall in line, then great. But that's not really what I'm trying to work. I'm trying to build rapport. I'm trying to build trust. I'm trying to build relationships. So if Susie is saying something and I relate to it, I'm going to write a comment. It's going to go into her messenger. Her and I are going to have a private conversation. Next time she's on Facebook, my posts are going to pull up in her feed. The more you have a private conversation with someone in Messenger, the more Facebook is going to say, oh, I want Susie to see Elizabeth's post because they have a connection. Facebook decides for us what we see. It's not by chance. It's not just in order of how it was posted. It's by how often we talk to these people. If you've ever noticed, if Jill posts on Facebook, I'm going to see it because her and I talk in Messenger every single day. Right. There's not a day I'm going to go by where I don't see something she posts in Detox Girls. It doesn't happen. It always pops up for me. And that's because we have a built relationship. So getting into people's messenger is a number one priority. It really goes the same for when you are scrolling Facebook. Monetize that time, what I like to call structured scrolling. So when you're scrolling Facebook, I know it's really easy to just like zone out and you're just like, do. Take your time, read people's posts, and if it resonates with you, comment on there. Something real, not like, love this, or LOL, like really put some thought into what you're saying to people.
I like that.
because we all know that Facebook gives us these little like auto-generated like comments we can put in. Those don't actually bump any algorithm. 4 words or more will help someone's algorithm. It will generate that comment in that person's, that will, what's the word I'm looking for? That will do essentially the same thing that Messenger does. It will build that connection between you two.
I like
So
that.
Susie will see mine, I will see Susie's. Genuine comments on what people are saying, what they're posting.
And that's good information even just to help our community, because unlike an MLM,
Absolutely.
this is not cutthroat marketing. This is how can we gain, how can we as a community help the world to gain health and healing, right? So no, not making any claims or cures, but how can we as a community help? So it's important that if you see your community member, somebody else that's with Root, it's okay to comment on their information and give them a shout out and give them some support. And I love it. I didn't realize the 4 words or more. Often I message something and I think that I'm too wordy. So it's good to know that I'm being helpful.
No, wordy is great. I
Yeah.
mean, when we're talking about algorithms, that's great. I mean, I personally would rather read a 2-sentence comment than love this, because that means, that doesn't mean anything to me, you know? When someone comments on something and really puts the time into it, that's going to mean something to me. Also, if you post something, how quickly people comment and how many people comment is going to auto generate how much visibility Facebook is going to give you. If I post and within the first 10 minutes, I get 5 comments, that is going to tell Facebook, this post is valuable. I'm going to show it to another 100 people and see if they want to see it. If I get 5 more comments, Facebook's going to say, wow, people really want to see this. I'm going to show it to another 300 people. The more comments and likes you get on a post within the first 10 minutes will determine how successful your post is. So yes, of course, this isn't a marketing technique, but if you're posting about parasites because you want people to come join your group and get more education, that is a tactic. And we just have to be real about it. So if you're posting something that's educational and you want a large amount of people to get value from this, you could even reach out to your community members and be like, hey, I just posted something that's really important to me. Can you all go comment on it and help me boost up the algorithm?
Wonderful.
Because it absolutely will. It doesn't matter who it is. Even if the same 5 people are commenting on your stuff all the time, the more comments you get, the more times you reply, the more people are going to see your post.
That's
So I always find-
fantastic, because I didn't know that's how it worked. Like, I knew it was important to do it, but I didn't know about at the beginning of whenever it was posted and how important that was. So that's
Your
really
first
good
10
information.
minutes.
So we do have 2 messenger groups, which I think are an important tool in this aspect, which is we have an ambassador messenger group and a community messenger group. And so as people start to see this and they understand, and we're looking to add value to Facebook, then that's going to be a really good place. Like, hey, is anybody available to show my posts some love? And then we all understand the importance of surrounding your community and going and actually doing it, not just saying you will, or not just scrolling by the message, actually caring for your community enough to do it.
One of my organizations, we do that all the time. I don't necessarily all the time, but like people who are newer, people who join my team, I tell them for the first 2 weeks, I want you to comment every single time you post. Come in here so that we can love on your stuff and more people are going to see it. I don't do it as much anymore because I know how to build my own algorithm, but I think it's really important for people who are early on in Roots to really get that feedback, right? Because
Right.
it feels good. As humans, we like that validation. So I think that's a great idea. I think going in the messenger and saying, hey, I posted, come show me some love. Yes, absolutely. The only thing about that is if their profile isn't public and you're not friends with them, you won't be able to comment.
So that's another really good tip. So maybe there are some things that you want only your friends to see, or it is a decision you have to make as you become a business person on Facebook.
Yeah.
What are you willing to show the public? What are you not willing to show the public? So My Facebook is basically business. I do some personal things on there, and there are things I'm comfortable with, but everything I post it public. And very few things do I post not to just friends, because I have a lot of friends that aren't in real life friends. But there is a way on your computer, not on your phone, but on your computer, to form a close group. So a small group of friends or this set of people, and then you can post just to them. So if you did have a special picture that you wanted to post and you didn't want it public, or you didn't want to pick friends because you've got, 1,000 friends and they're not really your friends, you can post. There is a way to find, like, I want to post to just like my mom, my grandma, my aunt, and this is a picture of my kid. And then you can post it just to that. So, but it is important to get comfortable with posting to public, because you don't know who a friend of a friend might see your information and it resonates with them. And maybe your friend doesn't quite, your new friend doesn't understand Root or the group, the community group, or the value of the education because they're brand new, but maybe their aunt sees that and it's really important to their aunt in that moment. And now you've reached out past them.
Right, absolutely. And my Facebook is public. Even though I have lots of stuff about my kids, I'm very diligent about making sure who's watching my stuff. If someone jumps onto my Facebook and they start commenting on my stuff and it's some weirdo, like, I'm going to immediately block them.
Yep.
So that's my way of kind of working through it. But I've definitely had people reach out to me and be like, I found your Facebook, or,
Right.
so-and-so tagged you, or whatever the case may be. So I do agree. And you can keep your Facebook private. And then, like you said, only make certain posts to
Right.
go public.
Right.
The only thing is, though, you have to remember to hit that
Yeah.
public every single time.
Right, exactly. Also, remember that your page, your rules. So there are people out there that want to say things that aren't okay. And for instance, I get a lot of love on my page. I have an amazing community. I get a lot of love. I get a lot of messages, but I had a lady who I'm not really sure what the problem was. And she's like, I just don't like your posts. And it went on from there. And I thought, so I messaged her and I said, this is something we could have talked about. I'm not quite sure what you don't like. And she said something back nasty in Messenger, and I blocked her because I don't even know. People like to hide behind a profile, and I don't even know who that actually was. So it could just be anybody with a second profile or a third profile trying to bring my business down or say something. And you know what? My page, my rules. I deleted the comment immediately. And I reached out to her in Messenger. And when I got that comment back, I thought, well, then we don't resonate together. And that's okay. I have thousands of people that do every day. We have a community group that is full of people that are looking for the information. And I know I'm being helpful. So I don't need one naysayer. That's my famous example. You put on this red dress and you look amazing. And you walk past 10 people and 10 people say, you look amazing. Wow, do you look good in that? And you walk past one person and she goes, why'd you wear that? And that's all you can get in your mind. Doesn't matter that 10 people thought you looked amazing. And it's not about looks, but I'm just talking in general.
No, it's just how our brains are wired.
Right. You get that one comment and it makes you doubt yourself. And so your page, your rules.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Protect it at whatever cost is necessary.
And I'd like to add, don't worry about what one specific person thinks.
Right.
You have an entire community, an entire populace that needs the information you're giving, and don't think, oh, what will this one person think? Or they say something that you find, I don't really understand why they said that. Should I say something? Should I not? It's your page. You've got to keep yourself safe. And you also have to keep the people who trust you and who you are in influence over safe, and not worry about that one person.
And there's also a way to sometimes understand that people that are not healthy, that have been scarred by the MLM industry, that have been scarred by people that don't have a good heart, maybe their comment is just they don't know your heart yet. So sometimes it's okay to turn that around and just say, I don't even have an example, but I understand what you're saying, or I'm not quite sure what you're saying, or I would be here to help if you ever needed me. it's okay to turn that around and then just leave it. It's still showing your heart that you're here to help. And so even if they're not in a place, that's okay. It's okay to say, you know, well, I'll be here if you ever decide that this is right for you.
Right, right. And also there's 7 billion people in this world, so I can tell you that I've gained some incredible friendships over social media. My husband hates Facebook. He loathes it. But the truth is, like, I've gained some super great friendships on social media.
Right.
Some
Right.
super great friendships. And so just remember, like, if one person's views don't align with yours, that's okay. Let them be who they are. You can delete them, you can block them, you can leave them, unfollow them, whatever you want to do, or just let them be who they are as long as they don't cause you pain. Go find some other people that you resonate with.
Right.
You know?
That's why I love this community. Honestly, it's like Elizabeth said, if I could just make a little community and gather in all my besties on Facebook or on social media. I mean, I count on, like, right here, these are 2 people I count on every single day. We talk every day.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what I would do without you guys. So it's build those bonds. And literally it came from one comment from Elizabeth on one post I made. And same with Shanna. I made one post and Shanna asked me a question and it forever changed my life.
Right. Yep.
You never know.
And it's stuff like that makes, for me, that's what motivates me to keep showing up. Even if I do post that no one loves, or it doesn't bring me any new exposure of what I think,
Right.
just remember, A, people are watching and maybe watching for a very long time before they say something. And B, all it takes is one comment. That's all it takes. And then you can have these flourished relationships that can be life-changing. So just keep showing up, because someone is gonna come around that aligns with your values. You know?
And those are the people you want in your community. If the people that don't value your education and value your knowledge, they're not going to join your community. They're not going to be interested in what you have to say. And they're not, and it's not that it's a problem. They're just not ready.
Right.
And that's okay.
Absolutely.
That's perfectly fine.
Oop, we're running out of time.
Okay.
All right. Anything else you need me to touch on?
I think that's a great start.
Okay.
I love it. So we can continue on another recording. I think if we can do this once a week and drop something into the group, I think there's a lot of value to be had, because Shanna comes from one place, I come from another. We've always said we make one person, but I feel like we're now starting to understand we've got a larger puzzle that we didn't even know was missing a piece. And so we're very grateful that you're here.
Awesome. Okay. Well, it's so good to see you guys today.
Wait, hold on.
I
Shanna.
never understood why people did things on their stories and why they posted some things and not others. So this helps me a lot. And I didn't know you could go live on your story either.
I will tell you it's easier from Instagram just because of the way the recording times go. But my Instagram and my Facebook are linked as a business account. So when I go in my Instagram stories, it automatically drags over to my Facebook. But you can talk in your Facebook stories. You just have to record them one at a time.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know.
How long do you get in your Facebook stories? Do you know? Is it like 30 seconds or?
I don't.
I'll experiment.
It's been a long time since I've done that. I know that on Instagram you get four slides.
15 seconds? Oh, okay. My
30
hubby
seconds.
says 15 seconds in stories. You get 15 seconds.
Oh, do you? That's how long Instagram stories are.
Oh, okay. That's how long Instagrams are too. Facebook is the same. Yeah.
So
we should have
let's,
him on too.
let's put out a challenge.
If you're still filming.
Oh, okay. So it'll section it though. Like you can tape 45 seconds, but it'll go into 3 different sections.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, that's how
Oh.
Snapchat works too.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
There you
So
go.
let's put out a little challenge. If you've stuck with us all the way to the end here, that means that you're interested in how your algorithm's working, how your story's working. You're really interested in social media and moving forward with your business. So we'll challenge you. Come to Shanna, Elizabeth, and I and ask us to make sure that we love your content so that we can help build your algorithm. Do that in the community group, messenger group as well. Reach out to a couple of friends of your own. And then also just challenge yourself to tape one story. So if you
Yes.
happen to be watching this very quickly, we've got a couple of holidays coming up. Just go on and wish your friends and family a happy holiday.
I wanted to touch on that. Thank you for saying that, Jill.
Yeah.
There's no need to try and sell people stuff right now unless they ask for it. But you know what you can do is wish people happy holidays, and it
Right.
will matter. Or happy birthday. That's a good one. too.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh, yes. So that doesn't show up on my mobile. It only shows up on my computer. It's probably a setting, whatever. It is really good. Check your birthdays every day, because if
Mhm.
you have a relationship with somebody, you don't want to find out the next day because of an algorithm that you missed their birthday. Check the birthdays every day. See who you talk to routinely, or see who you haven't reached out to in a while, and make sure that you're hitting their birthday. I'm notoriously bad at that, so that's going to be the challenge that I accept.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
All
Here's to
right.
growth, guys.
Yes, thank you so much.
Okay. Talk to you
All right, see
later.
Next time.